do some trade analytics and walk through. Okay, let's work through this trade, see what's going on. So, yeah, obviously on trend here, hourly to hourly, highest time frame down as always, right? Base point, reach point. You could snap the. So when I made this trend, it was, okay, let's turn that on. When we made this trend, this daily wasn't really active, but that's okay. It's there now. And if you re-snap it, it should still be good. Should still be fine. Yeah, it's still fine. So you've got the, there we go. I got a fix for that. So you've got trend. Trend was hit along with origin. So at this point, I don't think, you're deciding between having an hourly origin up here and your, what, did you finish unlocking the replays? I'm going to today, Ken's. I'm going to today. I was going to do that over the weekend there, but I've just been really busy with everything else. So you had this hourly origin, which felt like it was supposed to be target because you did have this hourly origin up here that got hit. So you did, like, I was pretty surprised that this hourly origin didn't hit. So when something like this happens, when you've got, we can delete that, that's fine. You've got, your target on top side, Pandora's box, obviously hourly to hourly. When you're not hitting your target here, right? Like, you actually haven't created this hourly origin on the bottom. You actually instead went after the 15. So if you're looking here, the 15-minute origin, it has been holding. So we're going to delete the hourly. It's no longer going to be used here. Rather, you'd be going after trend at the same time. Now, you kind of have something interesting here where you have this origin and trend all kind of going to hit at the same time. It's important to know which one is in play, and it's not the hourly origin that is in play. It's going to be the first test on the trend. Not only is a trend more legacy and a larger core set of information that represents a different range, like if you go and break, where is it here? You go and break this trend, you're going to go attack the range in here. So likely you're going to be at that 4-hour origin here, or one of these hold levels, right? Like when you break this trend, that's what you're attacking. Or you're trying to stabilize the base of the move, right? You're trying to find the next ladder point, which is going to be your lowest point in the move. So, you've got your reverse, you've got the, I guess that's a weekly from way before back there. You've got the reverse, you've got the weekly, and then trend can adapt properly, right? Then trend can adapt properly. So yeah, you break this trend and you're going to be going after the bottom of this. So you're pretty close to starting to go down into the next range here. Thing about this is that when you're looking at this and you've got this hourly on top and you have such a clear target that has been hit, and you get the hourly on the bottom and you're expecting that to be hit, it's starting to ladder outside of this move. So it's actually starting to try to move up to break this trend here. And this trend will represent attacking this range, which is automatically going to break this hourly origin here. So this hourly origin won't even do anything for us anymore. This hourly origin was already created and tested on this side, as well as within trend. And when you have, the miss of this one here, like this hourly right here, oopsies, let's go down here. When you have this hourly here, and then, you hit that, you just simply don't hit it. You're just laddering up in your Pandora's box. You're just starting to develop the range. So it is starting to look like a good time to look for a long possibly on this. I don't really think you're coming back down to here again. I think there was like maybe some kind of level here maybe. What we got here, 15. You know what? I'll just do it like this. 5-minute origin, right? That's fine right there. Kind of looks like re-entry right now, to be fair. Maybe here if you're lucky. Kind of looks like re-entry right now, just to hold this move and move up, because you are holding that Pandora's box. So you are kind of expecting this move to stabilize and establish and now start pushing up its move. Like, how much did this move already? This would have been a hell of a catch, by the way. Come on. It's already up 30%. It's good, but it's not great. It's already up 30%. You're just not really expecting this move to come down again. Maybe you can test one more time on this origin, but I don't think so. I just don't really think it's going to be coming down at this point. You're just kind of laddering the move, and looks like you might be trying to. The only thing I don't like is that obviously it's hitting the break of the move. So is there anything else that can hold the break? Well, you've got the reverse here. It's already tested through, so it already bounced that. You've got the 15-minute there. Believe it or not, I actually have a fix for that auto color tool. You just have to have the time to implement it. Can you hit this reverse 15? I suppose you can, but you just want to clearly ladder off this 5 right now. So, you know, that's the thing about this move. Something pretty important to realize is that, you know, you are like the bigger part of this move is that you are Pandora's boxing between two pieces here. You know, one of them being the trends. So you've got your, you know, your two ranges here. You've got your range from the top of this move to the range from the bottom of this move. So these levels are, I should just use this right here. These levels right here and here are pretty equal to each other, right? Like it's just your two top of the move that creates that range, bottom move that creates that range. This has set its breakout criteria. So has this, but this is laddering a lower level breakout criteria, right? So, you know, you're not really looking at this point to think about shorts. Like you're starting to think about longs, which is kind of funny because we just lost the weekly. Now that doesn't mean you're going to go up and you know, blast up, but it definitely does look like it's a good spot to take that long. Again, you're starting to ladder that Pandora's box. I think right when we started talking about it, that 5-minute was pretty clearly the you might be able to get the 15 here. You might be able to. Anything else? Any other time frames in play that we can use trend on? Like that's going to be pretty important here, finding that. So you may be able to snake this in, but I don't really know if that's going to be possible at this point. Oh, that's a 3-minute. Okay, a 3-minute. Oh boy. I think the 5-minute was just clearly your entry, and I think this is going to start moving up here. I think it's just going to simply start moving up here. I don't think there's a lot left for it to go after. I'm going to bring my window up as well, so that if I want to take a trade, we can manage it together. So I'm going to talk about this trade right now as if we didn't get into that 5-minute. So what can you do in this trade right now? So like, what can you do? Obviously, you're hitting something like this, right? You're hitting, you got this guy right here. That you're targeting and testing. What can you do right now for this move? Let this trend develop. You have something to break. The problem is if it holds it down, you don't really want to be, like, you really just want to be in this trade, to be honest. You really want to just be in from here. It's pretty perfect because I don't know if this is going to hold it down. We'll see, I suppose. Let's start thinking about where we could take entry on this trade and if any of it makes sense. I don't know if it does. Like, I really do think that that was the last of it right there. But, you know, maybe you can get the 15 reverse because it's so close to trend. So I think at this point, if this move is failing, there's not a lot of sense to be had in taking any of these trades. Like, I think you're either going to do one of two things. Obviously, you're going to break up and develop this, right? You're obviously going to break up and develop that, or you're going to just move down and try to backtest this 15. I think at this point, if you're not in from the 5, seeing if you can develop this 15 and hold up, if you're not in from here, I think you have to wait till this 15 gets hit on trend as well. So I think that's where you have to start looking at taking this trade if it develops, which, oof, I don't know if we're going to go back down here, to be honest. It's asking a lot. But we could set a trade there. We can set a trade there. Let me put that on my books. That way, if it executes, we can manage it together, because I think that would be very good and valuable, managing this trade together. So the 15-minute level on BitYet is 61. On Binance, it is 50. Whoa, quite a price difference. Okay, so then we got 24 and 25. So price is equal on both exchanges. So you're just going to go a little bit closer to that 50, like 58 kind of thing. The 1 minute level. Do you ever go after the 1 minute level? So I do like this. I do like this trend being created now because it does give us like a pretty visceral breakout point. It does give us like a nice spot in the move to just like cleanly break through. So this for me is really good. I do like seeing this trend because now we can actually go and attack this lower move. And I think this trade is starting to make more and more sense now. You know what you don't want to see is you do want to see a move come back over top, create some time frames. Like that's something that you're always looking for whenever you're looking. Like we can look at any move. You can look at this one here, or we've sure pick another one. Whenever you're done moving up or down, you want to create, like, if you're moving down in a trade, you want to create those bigger time frames, right? And then come back and back test. Like that's something that you want to do. You want to say like, okay, look here, we created a 15-minute, right? It's kind of the same thing here. You've created a 15-minute right there, and then you want to go and you want to say, oh, data point unavailable. Okay, dude, come on, man. That's such baloney. You do want to create that data point, and then like that was the 15-minute. You do want to create this data point in that trade and then come back and target the lower time frames again. Like if you were to have, obviously you don't have a trend here, you might have one from back here. Nah, because that's already testing the level, so you can't. So what do you have here? You have your 5-minute rate here, right? So you do want to kind of create that higher time frame and then come back and test through on that lower time frame again. You see what I mean? Like you do want to create that 15 and then come back and test through on this. So yeah, there's always that. Let's create the higher time frame. Take the trade profits, like how iNuke took his trade profits, and even like you could get here on the combo to the one, not quite the body, but the one wick is still pretty decent. It's another $11 off. It's another, I don't know, 7 or 8% or 6%, 6-7%. You do kind of want to create that higher time frame and then hold the move, which by doing that allows you to create the even higher time frame, right? Like you're starting to attack the back sides of higher time frames or creating, the top sides of those. So, when you do have one of these moves, like right now, and you're sitting here and you're saying, oh, we can create the higher time frame, you do kind of want to go test the bottom of the range because that's where you get your second entry. So let's talk about first and second entries. Your first entry on a trade is always going to be like the, quote unquote level, right? This is trend here. Yeah, great trade. Great trade. Trend triggers at probably like, what is this, 2.5% or something? Oh, not even 2%. Triggers a nice 2% trade. Does create the higher time frame here and goes after the lower time frame. Hits the break, reverse this part of the move, and then same with this. Like you do want to create that higher time frame and fail back to the lower part of the move. Like those are second entry type of plays where whenever you're taking those trades, like that's exactly, okay, let's delete these ones, are kind of in the way. That's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for that higher time frame creation. Create a 15-minute here, go, start back attacking stuff in here, and then break up in the move. And it's interesting because we can still ladder this, and it's quite a healthy trade still. Like this is quite a great, like this is pretty good, right? Still a nice 3%. Like it's a good trade. I don't quite think you're gonna hold this 5 here. 15 there. Get rid of that. Backside. You don't really even need that now because trend represents the test of this. So whenever you make your, like whatever you're testing in a trade, that's something that we've talked about before, but we should talk about again. Whatever you're testing in a trade, realize that the trend that it creates is what it's attacking. Like if this was testing this origin level, oh, what is that? If this was testing this origin level and you made a local trend, well, you're going to attack that origin again. So you either have to ladder it or something bigger has to hold you in like a sense, like a combo, right? Or for example, if you were, you know, breaking this trend, you're attacking like the next range in the move. Like wherever you break trend, you're kind of going after that next piece, right? So, break this trend here, you're attacking the level above this. Like whatever created this, this is the new level. Phew, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Jesus. Allergies. They're really bad today. We have smoke and fire where I live, so my allergies are really bad. So apologies if I sneeze and sound a little off. It's a little tough to talk right now. But so like imagine you have the testing of a level here. So this is going to be your, I'm sure there's a higher time frame here too. What did this test? That's what it's important to identify. Like, what did this test? So when this trend breaks it, almost imagine a level like this, right? A level like this goes, and when you test it in the future, it kind of almost like subverts that level to something like this. Like it almost subverts it like this and continues it on the trend. So before it created trend, it was like this, right? After trend, it kind of just subverts the level. So whatever this test was on this, when this trend breaks it, it's testing that level. And it's also testing that as well, which gets into a whole like different thing about untested levels with trends, which we'll get into over the next month. But there's also untested levels on trends, which is cool because like you kind of just saw them, but then we'll go over like a whole lesson on them. But you know, untested levels that you know, there's a trend that creates from the range. um yeah, they get to some pretty neat stuff, right? Like this is the creation of the trend. So it's like if the level there that it hit has like a higher time frame untested or something, like it's testing that level. This is good. Our trade's starting to come down. I like this trade because again, it can hold up the move and attack like a pretty large piece on this thing. How does that work with continuum in the trend? When do you attack that versus gapping to the higher piece? I'm not sure if I understand. I think you were talking about when I was drawing the blue line. Let me think about this for a second with your question again. How does that work with continuum with a trend when you attack that versus gapping the higher price? So whenever you have a trend on your chart, like trends are levels, just like levels are levels. They're all, it's all levels. Like untested trends become like really great buy spots, obviously, like this, right? You've got a trend, it's holding its move, it's laddering, it's an untested trend. It's so straightforward, right? But then breaking this trend, so like if you were to come on the future out here, for example, breaking this trend here would snap this origin because it's polarity in the move. Oopsies, wrong button. So if you come out here and break this, don't expect origin to hold, right? You break this, the move is dead. So by breaking this right here, by breaking your trend right here, it will be breaking this origin. So this is like hyperpolarity after the point where origin can no longer be tested and supported. That's it. So if you break this, you better short because like you're just going to sink through everything. So whenever you have a trend, like one of the tricks with trends is identifying where the polarity exists in that move. And it would have been great if we would have had that like hourly right here, which we didn't. We didn't end up hitting it. It just looks like it's Pandora's boxing outside of its range, right? So you've got this hourly here, and this hourly here has kind of the representation by this trend here. Because again, it's the same thing. It's like you have creation of trend, reach point, and then whatever was back testing on those higher time frames. So like for example, right, trend, and this stuff all in here, you know, was back testing reverse level, and then I'm sure there was some kind of like micro origin here or like whatever you have, like probably some kind of like 5-minute hold level in there or something, and then you create your, you know, your hourly origin, right? So you have, you know, an hourly here, you have an hourly there. I don't know if this one up top is actually an hourly. It is actually. So you can delete this. You can delete this because this is actually going to be the one that holds the move. You can use them both. That's fine. But the one up top is going to be the one that holds the move. If there's a 4 anywhere. So the next piece of this would obviously be creating and holding this 4, right? Like creating this 4, off laddering this to create the 4-hour trend. Like that's the next part of this move. That's very straightforward right now. That should be no question in anybody's mind. That's you know, here's going to be the 4-hour off of this origin here. So, you know, do you have any 4-hour on the bottom? Probably not. No, you just have this here, which could turn into it, but that could be a good next target. However, I would just be looking more at the top because you are starting to ladder this, right? You are starting to ladder that move. So I would just be more looking at the top of this chart. So when you, whatever this stuff is testing, when you break that trend, you're breaking whatever polarities are. So you're going to kind of go like, say you fancy your way out to here, break this, whatever polarity has been holding this is where you're going to go. So like, then you're going to go, like, it looks to me like you're going to go create this as the 4 hour origin. That's what it looks like. So you break this, you're going to kind of gap to here, and then that's going to allow you to create that trend, right? So like whatever has created that like range or move, wherever the polarity is, like identifying that is important, because then you're going to be able to see like, okay, well, yeah, you break the trend no matter where you are in time. And that's like a lot of time where you went through these cycles, right? Like accumulation distribution, you end up going on this like long-winded thing where you've been holding forever, and you keep holding out to here until you're like, yeah, I don't know what day is this, September 13th. So I don't know, you hold for like another 10 days, you kind of, range whatever. And then all of a sudden you break this and you fly up to here, right? Because it's like, oh, that looks like accumulation, but really it just had broken its polarity here. Like it broke the polarity because of the trend. The trend almost acts in a way like this, like level, and then trend continues it. Oops. Level, trend continues it. Yeah, we'll get into that in the future, Nuke. So, but that might help clear things up a bit for you. So now breaking the trend represents breaking the level. Yes. Let's go check in on this, see what it's doing. I don't even think you want to use interiors here, to be honest. To be honest and fair, I don't even think you want to use interiors. There's no benefit to using them. You just want to test the lower part of the move. This is perfect down here. Test the lower part, and then you can move up. Because if this holds, it's going to hold the move. That's that second entry kind of stuff. That's kind of going to be some of the stuff that we are talking about during these like during the next 2 months, is like quality of positions, like where and when to enter and why. Just expanding that idea deeper into it. Yep. When trends break, they are typically created off polarity. This, hopefully this moves down. Like I really don't want to play this interior range. I don't like the 5-minute level. If there's somebody who likes this 5-minute level for a reason, please do speak and say that if you like it or not. Like I understand if it holds the move, it's going to go up. But then I would just be looking for, the problem with holding this 5 is that if you hold this 5, you're kind of just going to this hourly to go back down and see if you can hold the move. So like I don't think there's a big range to play inside of this. Like if you were to play this 5, I would likely play it to here, or like that. I think that would be a stretch. I think that would be a stretch here. I think you're just playing into like kind of something like this, just a little past the test of that level. Something like this where you can have, backside 15 right here. What is that? 77. Yeah, it's just like a little deeper in the move, right? Like that's kind of where you're at with this thing. So if you do hold this 5, you kind of go to here, and then you fall down to, yeah, there's the 5. There's the top of the 3 to create the origin, right? You create the origin here. So like 2 spots you can maybe go. So if you were to take this 5, or if you were still in from Nuke's bottom there, like you're not looking to go past that unless it's already back tested the bottom of the range and is moving up. So if you're still in this trade, it did show that it would break down and then it moved up, you would stay in. But right now, to just test through, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you might as well just take your exit at 70 here, 770, because it's just going to test that hourly, fall down, reattack the bottom of this move, and if the bottom holds, then that'll break up out of its Pandora's box. Because right now, again, it's trying to set up that break on Pandora's box. But moving up here against this origin, it's like, yeah, there's a 30% play. Move up against origin, fall against it, take second entry at reverse, at the reverse level, which is also supported a trend. I think that's a smarter play here. I don't think this is going to hold. How do you decide which trends are in play? Like, which one would you be asking about, Ken's? This one here, like this trend here on, I believe it was the 3 minute. Okay, good. The color coding. This trend here on the 3 minute represents the test of this level. So like if you get all the way out here and break this, you're breaking the reverse level, right? Like it's already testing through. You're kind of breaking that level. So the trend, once the trend development is there, like once you've got time frames, and you can go here and you can find the higher time frame that it doesn't exist on distribution. So there's no like second go through you could do on this, if that makes sense. Like there's no, oh, let's go and take the higher time frame. Like we did take the highest time frame. It was a 3 minute. Like we did take the highest time frame. So there's like if you had this base of the move as a blue candle instead, you could say like, oh, break this, go here, and you're just not done distributing it because you've got one blue candle, two blue candles, three blue candles, four. So that then you could go and redo this trend. Like at that point, you can reuse this trend. But right now, the highest time frame is 3, so this is already in play, which makes it like a really nice target to go after because it is the only trend in play. So it is representing like holding up the move, right? Does that make sense? So that's like a kind of a trend magic or trend trick that people can do is, when there's a higher time frame, then you can readjust trend. That's like a quick and simple way to think about it. If there's a higher time frame available, go nuts, readjust your trend once the lower ones break. If there's not, then the lower one is the highest one. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty important piece of advice. For example, sometimes I have older and more logical range trends. Don't know which one to use. So whatever the polarity of the move is, wherever that trend is created from there, that's the one you use. And then you can readapt that. Again, if there's a blue base candle on the higher time frame that hasn't created that reach yet. Like again, if this was blue, and then you could just say, oh, there's how many blue candles here? Like 7. Then you could just like do it one more time. And then that, would represent whatever this is, this range. So whatever it had attacked back there. This is really holding. Wow. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. But again, then I think there's, the short up at 70. Can we hit 19,634? This? I don't think I would play that. Below trend, below reverse, already laddering the move. I don't think I would play that. Well, this is unfortunate. Let's give it a minute here. Let's give it a minute, see where it develops. Still not moving down, huh? We can talk a bit about trends as well. While we're doing this trend, what does everybody think this trend represents right now? Like it's a pretty interior trend. Let's talk about it. What does it represent? Like why would we use this trend? What is it going to be used for? This one's a bit tricky. This one is a little tricky. – 60%. It's not a lot. 70. Break of a micro range. Nope. This trend represents the creation or failure of this bottom side of the range. This is simply just, let me take the three-player tool here. This is simply just the development of the range, and that's it. Like, if this holds, this can't be in existence. The other one holds, the other one can't be in existence. So if this trend holds, the top one is gone, which is just kind of, in a way, very kind of basic, straightforward. But the idea behind this trend here being created, why do we have a blue line there? The hourly, right? Because that was actually not the hourly, it was the backside 5, which is fine. Which now you'll go up in time frame. So backside 5, right? Now you're going to go backside 15, which is that 770 level. These interior trends are just created to see if the nullification of the other side can be in existence or not, right? So like once this side starts laddering, this one's broken. So that's kind of why it's like, it's kind of crappy that that held, because once this holds, it kind of nullifies this. It's a very micro time frame range, but these kind of interior ranges are just there to create it, just to see if the other side can hold or not. And then, to be fair, in all time frames, in all trends, it's like, it's just to see if the other side can be there or not, right? Just kind of like Pandora's box in a way. Like once this one hits here on the 15, it's kind of just saying like, okay, this one can't exist, right? Time frame up, +1, backside 15. See it get hit. Anything larger time frame here? Hourlies? No. 15-minute was hit. So you could say also, and you go up to this hourly up here, right? Because the 15 was held. Can you go up to this hourly? Yeah, which also hits the backside 15. So the backside 15 is a pretty perfect level. Kind of hits all the criteria, that backside 15. Still want it to break down and hit this though. Like I want it to happen soon because, you know, we don't have too much time here. Like 35, 40, like that's going to be kind of, you know, there's not enough room left there for such a small time frame. So that's going to kind of be like where you want to be at. Otherwise, you're going to be more gearing towards this like kind of combination there. Okay, what are you doing, Bitcoin? Wouldn't recognize that a viable trend. So am I totally missing something? Yeah, absolutely. When this side starts holding, like you're just not going to get entry down there. Like this is almost trigger points for longs. This trend would be your trigger for your long, and this trend would be your like this would be your like if you're in a short and this holds, you should use that as a trigger. Like you should just be getting out right there if it holds, especially if you're in a short from like this trend. So for example, if you were, you know, if you shorted this right here, once this holds, you should just get out of your trade. $770 +1. Does everybody understand why +1 here makes sense? 15-minute trend bottom side, reverse level tested, origin. We haven't found the origin. This is origin 5. Let's find origin 15. Can't be here. Can't be here. There. Origin 15. Boy, I don't like that. Origin 15 holds. This is broken, which means trend has to hold. So if you test this and hold, it means this is broken, which means this will target trend. And if this breaks trend, the move is collapsed. Still looking at that lower part of the move. Come on, Bitcoin. Uptrend is good. The red downtrend. This guy here. Okay, Bitcoin, come on. What are you doing? Okay, we're gonna give Bitcoin a 2-minute break here. I'm taking another small break. Be right back while we figure out what's going on with Bitcoin. But I do think 770 to 650 is the move right now, and vice versa. Okay, good. We're back to trend. You ever take trend to the 15? Nope. Never. Never, 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 never. You really want that lower part of the move to hold. You want the +1 here because you want to play the part of the trade that's going to break up. Like so here's the thing about like +1 and trends and all that. You want to play +1s because they have a bigger implied odd. So whenever you're looking for trade setups, so this is kind of the stuff I'm going to be getting into in the live sessions when we do them. Whenever you're looking for like the bigger setups, you want to be playing trades that have, and this will end up ultimately reducing the amount of losses you take. You want to have, you want to play like, okay, so you want to play levels that have bigger implied odds. So if you were to take 2 different levels, for example, if you were to take this level versus this level has massive implied odds. This one is a ladder point inside of a move that can still hit this. So whenever you're taking trades, you want to reduce the amount of trades you take that are just kind of there because they're whole levels, and you want to increase the amount of like +1 trades you take, because those +1 trades are going to be the trades that do something like this, where they hit and they bounce up above their current range because they were doing something from a previous move. So if you introduce more +1 trades into your trading schematic, you're just going to be in more situations where when a move goes up, it's going to be very clear. And you're not going to get into these situations where it's like, okay, bounce, go like this, back test, get out. Maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't, maybe it goes up. Like the quality of trade is a lot less. It gets you into better quality positions that have a higher chance of success. So if you took 10 trades that were all like +1 trades versus 10 trades that were not +1, you probably have a higher profit cap. Well, no, you just not probably, you will. You're always, your profit cap, like you say, you take 10 trades. If every trade was worth 40% over 10 trades, your profit cap, if you nailed them all, would be like 40%, 400%, right? By taking +1 trades, you're going to increase that to 600 or 700%. So you're just exposing yourself to like higher quality, better positions. You see what I mean? So taking these +1 spots increases your implied odds. And when you increase your implied odds, you're going to be in trades that have the ability to garnish you more results, which means you don't have to take interior targets as exits. So taking +1 trades is really important. Taking trades that can target break a different side of the chart means that, you know, your interior range, once it breaks, it gaps to that target. Like this +1, oopsies, oopsies. No. Okay, chill out, dude. Like this +1 right here surpasses this stuff and just goes to polarity somewhere back here or here. So this trade brings you up in that range. This trade brings you here. So it has a lower profit cap, right? Like it's not like this trade takes you here and so does this trade. You're just making 60% instead of 48. No, this trade takes you here as to where your +1 trade would take you up into that, you know, hourly stuff, like up back here. So it's a much higher trade range. And then this +1, you will use something in here to create an origin. Like I'm sure you could find where it's going to be. Excuse me. Possibly this one. So this +1 takes you a little past that, which will be here, or even just to that, or even short front run. It's already tested here. That's what that's testing. This is already testing there. So this is taking you somewhere into here. So your +1 trade has a bigger implied odd. So the more, obviously, if you're going to take 10 trades, you'd want to be in the ones with the more implied odds. Yeah, it's from BFE2. So we just really want this to break down. Just like when you see, you know, something like this, that breaks down, holds a lower part of the move. You hold this, you're in a big trade. That's, you know, you see the same thing happen here. Breaks above its move, goes back down, targets a lower time frame, and then just goes and targets, like, you know, that whole entire piece of that move up top, like kind of right to its ladder point, right? And then this does it on like a bigger time frame down here, obviously. So still looking down here. I just don't think this range trend, like, it's not that I don't like it. It's not that I can't hold. I think it's fine. I think it's like a good little level for a scalp here. But the problem is that like this was the best of it for sure. And it's 20%. I mean, I guess it's okay. I don't like playing this because it just means it's gonna fail at like this or create a trend from here. Like you want to target the bigger so you can +1 the top side. It's implied odds, right? Like it's getting in better quality trades is important. So that's kind of the stuff I want to focus on when we're doing our things, our trading sessions. I was gonna start it tomorrow, but I've got BitGet flying into where I live here, so I have to pick them up tomorrow night. So as soon as BitGet is gone, because I have to pick them up from the airport, as soon as they're gone, so I'm going to be chauffeuring for a few days, which is barrels of fun. So as soon as they're gone, then I'm going to start this. So I'm thinking a Wednesday launch date for the nightly trading, and then it's going to be at roughly 7 p.m. 4 to 5 nights a week. Because I'm just going to come on every night and I'm just going to do trading with a group because I want to focus on helping people build their bankrolls. So that's what's going to be like a big chunk of mentorship over this month and the next month. I want to focus on like helping people build their bankrolls during the week. So I want to just focus on like taking good quality trades with a group. MDT, yes. So it's going to be kind of variable flexible. So it'll be like kind of 6 to 8 somewhere like that. I might even go and do like night streams as well. Not YouTube streams, but like night streams for this group. Like just stay on. Like if I'm not doing anything else, I might just stay on for a few hours and just trade with a group because I really want to just help people build their bankrolls right now. Like that's kind of like where I'm at. I just really want to help people build their bankrolls. I'm on holiday starting like Friday, Jude, just in case. But like I don't know when they have their flight scheduled to leave, the execs from BitGet. But they're bringing me like a football. They want to come see me in person. It's really cool why they're coming. Actually, they have a Juventus, and that's like a big soccer thing. They have a Juventus football that they got. There's only one of them, and they got everybody on the team to sign it, and they're bringing it to me. That's why they're coming, and they also want to meet me because like obviously I'm doing some work with them on their exchange and stuff like that. So yeah, I get like this cool. They're like, oh, you can sell it if you want to keep it. I'm gonna buy a case for that sucker, and I'm gonna keep that thing. Yeah, it's like a Juventus football with all the players signing it and the coaches and stuff. There's only one of them. That's kind of cool. So they're coming to bring me that, and they are coming to meet me and yep, because we're doing like a lot. I'm doing like a lot of work with them, right, on their exchange and stuff like that. And now launching this new trading thing, they want me to get into more, um, kind of, yeah, like how else can I help them grow their exchange kind of thing. So Ninpo knows about it. Yeah, Ninpo, I have no clue. I'll show it off when I get it. It's kind of cool, right? So Fredly, okay, so what I'll do, Fredly, then, if that is gonna help you, I'm going to say 7 MDT is gonna be the like the anchor time that I aim for. And if Binance get you the Ronaldo signature. Shut up, Jude. You're so stupid. Oh, I love it. um yeah. So I'm gonna say, like, I completely get it, Fredly. So let's do 7 p.m. MDT as like an anchor time. Yeah, let's do that. Turn it into an NFT. Each signature will be their own. So yeah, they're coming. I'm gonna hear what they have to say, and yeah. And then they wanted me to go to travel out to see their new operation. So I'm gonna see. I'm just, open mind, open ears kind of thing. They wanted to meet me. I said sure. All of a sudden they have a flight booked, and I'm chauffeuring for whatever, a couple days. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, come on. Let's not hold this trend here. As this trend develops, I like this 15 less and less, because now you're starting to develop the larger time frame on this possibly. So as this is developing here, now I'm liking this less and less, because a larger time frame is going to start looking like something like this. Like you are going to have, 15-minute here. No, 15-minute. I knew it. So you are back testing reverse. You do have 15-minute trend. So now you're actually getting into some, what is the implication of these plus ones, right? Like this is what you're gonna have to ask yourself. Like, what are these implications? Because now you've got a plus one trend and you've got plus one this. So now you have to think of like the hourly. So the more this thing holds, the more I hate this trade down here. And by hate, I mean I really hate it, because you know what? It was such a nice little easy clean trade. That's not useful. That's not useful anymore. You got a couple more minutes here, and that's it. So maybe you do have to now adjust your expectations here, instead of playing this part of the move down here. I think maybe now you have to actually play trend or hold level, because it's starting to look like a lot like Christmas, right? Let's just not get above this in the next 10 seconds here, which I don't think we will. We just really want to create that, but we'll see. I think this is still okay, but obviously one more hold on this and you're done. One more back test hold on this, and this move is going to start to go up. So you got to make a choice here, whether you want to play this trend in this level. There's a 15 pull back to this right here. You got to make a choice right now if you're playing 715 or if you're playing the lower part. uh the lower piece looks like just more and more suspicious as time goes. I think you've just got to straight up play this 1 minute at 716, which really sucks, because like you definitely want to get the better entry, but I think you just have to play that. I think that's where the move is at now. Just break straight up here. It's possible. Like it's definitely possible. So I think, yeah, I think at this point, like you just blow this out of the water, right? Like that's gone. I think this is gone now. This trend is representing up the holding of this 5 minute right here, which back tested this. So in a best case scenario, like, oh man, Origin again. This is like an emergency entry, and if it holds, it rockets. It rocket fuels it the other way. So Origin is the only thing you can play now in this move. Origin is the only thing you can play. Kids are sleeping, then at least I have a good reason to be in bed super early. Yeah, and I'll pin it to 7 p.m. MDT so that you and others who are in different time zones at least have some stability there. And then as the move develops, obviously you tried to gain it, and you couldn't here. So this is actually looking 5 minute the 15. You gonna hold this or not? Kind of think you're not going to now because you did try to gain the move. Let's see if it holds. Feel like you're moving down now because you did attempt that attack. And after attempting that attack, you know, now you've this is like a moment of truth right now. Do you hold the move or not? Huge moment of truth. Does it drop straight down and sink? Or do you hold trend, gain this 1 minute? Big moment of truth right now. I mean, it's holding. It's holding its move nicely. It's looking pretty decent. Like, you know, you've sat here for 3 minutes now. Kind of deciding if it's going to actually hold this move or not, right? Like that's, you know, start with your lower time frames. Like, does it? No 5, so that's good. No hourly, no 15 here. You've got this, but that's not really important. You want to find like the most interior piece. Oh, which is that 1 minute hold level. Okay, so that's fine, actually. That's perfectly fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like going on 4 minutes of holding this level. It's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. I don't want to use the hold level. I want to use the inverse here because I don't want to use a hard close on this. I think that's a problem that a lot of people do is they use like the hold level and then the hard close gives them like a false reading when really you could just go to the higher time frame and be like, oh, we're not gaining the move yet. So there's trend. So will it ladder? That's just not holding its move, right? That's just going to sink right down. There it goes, just sinking right down. They're going to hit our target on the bottom side. We're just then going to start flying up. Huh. It actually hit the wick. Well, close enough. I guess no, it didn't really hit the wick, but so it went after that other level, right? That 1 minute. So it did go after that interior part of the move. Interesting. So it's not actually going after this. It went after the interior part. So now it's likely gonna back test again. Ooh, I don't know actually. So we would have missed our trade because we were at the 15 reversed, right? We were here. Well, I mean, I did miss my trade. So this has just got to hold and create range now. You're looking for bigger time frame to create interior. Nothing. Gonna regain this part of the move. Oof, that'll be tough to regain that, but if you do, kind of good. Kind of like good if you do. Trying to. Goes. So we missed that one. Okay, well, not cool. Not cool. We missed that one. Um, darn. We really thought it was going to go after this trend here. And now it can't. Hmm. Well, okay. It is what it is. Like you can't do anything about that. It is what it is. Like you missed the trade. But at least our like okay, so let's do a quick little recap here because this is important. The most important thing about this trade was going back to the beginning, realizing that it is creating this higher time frame to go and break this move down. It's just kind of crappy that we missed this because you know what? Like it gets close enough to a 15 here that I understand it. If you were testing this 668 and it's like okay fine it's testing the same thing as here and it goes to 669 or 670 and that's fine. So your trade range is between 650 and trend which is 660 and 670 and it hits 670 or 669 and even to the level 670s you have a $26 range here. It's not a lot. Top to bottom of the move playing 4 levels. So you've got 1 2 3 4. You're playing 4 levels for a range that is 13%. 4 levels for 13%. Like you can't be mad to miss that. Like fine. Like I still think it's better to be greedier, but you can't sit here and grimace over that because okay fine. Like it hit this and if you wanted to save the 13%, you could have. But the most important thing about this trade was stabilizing the bottom of this move, right? Maybe we can still hit this actually. Maybe we can still hit this. I think we can still go for a second trade here. If you break trend, you're going to emergency mode off of this. So is there a call here anywhere where you can break trend deep? So now what I'd be looking at is I would say, okay, origin will be the emergency mode. So where can it go past origin? So is it going to ladder above origin or is it going to go deep dive below and create this? Well, obviously laddering origin would be great interior, but in this trade, I want to go below. I want to go to this untested level. This I think would be the best spot you can have. Shoot. And you know what I'm going to do with this? I am going to make this decision by saying, where can trend be created here? Because we've already created one trend. So if this trend breaks, it's representing breaking this ladder point, which is this. Can we create a higher time frame? Let's check. I don't think we can. I think we're bogged. We can actually. we can. Oh my God, you could create a 4-hour too? I don't like it. I was liking it, not now. I like it. One minute broken. 3 minutes there too. I wish you had like even just a 5-minute time frame. I guess we have to skip this trade. God damn it. I really hate that. I really hate missing this trade. So I go against my gut intuition. No, you can't take this. If you could create another time frame, you could. You can't just take it to take it. I hate that so much because I want to take it, but you got to stay smart. This is a bit of a grimacer because it feels like it's going to hold. But this is purely intuition talking. Actually, not even intuition, it's stubbornness, because intuition would mean that there's something subconsciously that makes sense there. There's not. So can you go here? Do we have a 3-minute hold level? Don't. Dude. Can you go here? Can you reverse this 3? Is it also a 5? No. There's like nothing here to hold this move. But I just love the fact that we've Pandora's boxed from the bottom side up. Like, come on, there's got to be something. Polarity's already tested, so now you have to ladder this. Did you just go reverse 1? Don't like it, Chuck. I don't like it. And this is tested, and that's gone through. Reverse it. You just get right back to the 15 right here. I don't think it's done dumping. I'm staying out of this. Yeah, there's no reason I can call. There's no like reasonable cause. The 15 is fine, but like Jesus, man, this is really thin. It's really thin. It's really thin. You almost want to be down here, like at 604. Just hit some ridiculous level to reject this origin. That breaks the ladder. That's fine. Like ideally, you would have liked this to be way the hell down here. That way, this can go like this and still be laddering the move. At least it gives it a point in the future where you can say, if, you know, this ladder here breaks, if that breaks, like at least you could be, you know, at least you could be somewhere like out here, break this and get out of your long from here. Like it's just such an ugly trade. This is the kind of trade I'll usually just walk away from and not take and just come back and see what happened, because it just becomes too, it becomes too frustrating. This kind of trade. You want to take it so bad, but it's just not there. Cotton, did you say it's a 1-hour origin, July 13th on the bottom? Let's take a look. Oh, you're talking about way back here. Yeah, I mean, it's possible for sure. Talking about here. Won't be this. Won't be that. I don't like it. I don't like it because we're back testing inside of this. Like hard closing this will just get you to a scenario where you may back test one of these and then move back up. So I don't like that. I'm in, fingers crossed, and out. Sick. Quick. Oof. Yeah, that was like pretty easy. You could have got out break even, right? That's like a super easy one there. Wild how all this represents the same thing from different angles. The relationship of the two hemispheres, backside, frontside, origins, +1 concept, range trends, all kind of representing the same events. Yep. The more I'm seeing, the more I'm starting to connect, the easier it is for me to be overwhelmed with data. Good old VOD. Yep. I have that problem too. Most of my bad trades come from me sitting down and taking a trade, even though I don't like it. I just force justification on the charts because I am there. I must take the trade. Honestly, it looks primo for a short. 575. You're talking about the 15-minute origin. Like, yeah, it could ladder the move, but you've already started to kind of create. It's just that 1 minute. Oh, gross, gross, gross. Hmm. I really wanted it to hit our lower targets. That's too bad. That was pretty clean right here. And there's no other trends that can be created, so that would have been the final moment. I mean, it can still hit it. It's just, you just want it clean. Now you're just going to be at the higher part of the move. So this is going exactly as we planned, right? That's why is TradingView being so messed up right now. It keeps changing my ticker. This is going exactly as planned. You get the higher range. You broke that. Though we didn't plan that trend break, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. There's no trade there anyways. Come down, back test your level. Now you're going to start flying up to the higher range. That's unfortunate. So I had my trade at 56, I think it was. I canceled it already because I saw it missed. Let me take a look. Where was it? 657. So yeah, not even that close because it hit like 70 or something. Yeah. So I was still, $13 away. Darn, that's too bad. Yep, because this move just now targets the higher part. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. We'll be back not tomorrow, but Wednesday